I am live, guys. Live right now, as we speak. There's live things going on. There's two people here. Who are they? Doesn't say who they are, but I'm live. Let's face it. I'm just glad it's my face and not Elon Musk, and it's my channel name and not Tesla Incorporated. Let's all just be happy about that. Yeah. I may have a guest. Joining me tonight. I wonder if the settings... Oh, wait a minute, guys. I might have to change some... Oh, no, there we go. Okay, hey, guys. All right, good. Good. How are you guys doing? I'm so glad. Aw, there, look. Somebody's so important you guys don't even know. Hold on. I'm going to add someone to the stream, and he'll be here in a second.
What's up?
There you are. Well, there's your car's ass.
Well, I wish that was my car's ass. So it's the car I lost after. Now I got to figure out.
And let me put him back in. There you go. No, he's gone. So I was afraid you guys weren't. I just realized because the assholes from yesterday had it set that you had to be a subscriber to the channel for 10 years to send messages or comment or something. And I guess that was to keep people from saying like, hey, this isn't your channel. But any predictions on when the price of Ether will get back above 45K, 4K? Yeah, 1990 never. That's when. Hold on. All right. Oh, there he is. There you is.
There we go.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Why can I not hear you?
What are you doing, man? What are you doing with your life?
Audio. Headset. Okay. No.
Oh, can you hear me?
Huh. I can't hear you. Everyone can see and hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, look, this is my 1 hour reminder to make my end stream. To make 1 hour reminder to make you end stream. Well, I've been going for an hour already.
I'm changing.
Look at that.
Integrate camera, right? Audio. Speakers.
You working on that?
Fork.
Hey, the good news is Norton just blocked malicious domain request 22, which it blocks like 8,000 times a day now. So I don't know if that's how they got in or what, but we're gonna let Dave figure this out. You guys can hear me. All right, so they can hear me. We can hear Dave. Dave can't hear me for some odd reason. What is up with that? Dave, what have you broken? Let me type here. We'll figure that out.
I can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I can't hear you.
What are you doing? I don't know.
You know it's bad when the tech guy can't get it right, right?
Right, and he's the computer geek. Oh, Justin just won the brownie points.
Okay.
Nice. So, following all this fun stuff, I went to the doctor today and found out that I have bronchitis.
No, that's correct.
So you guys know I get sick all the time for like no good reason at the drop of a hat. So that's fun.
You can hear me. Why can I not hear you? This is fucked up.
Oh, we got more than one Justin? That's terrible. That's like confusing. What is going on there? So, watch out. We'll be past these technical difficulties momentarily. Hopefully. Thank you, Peter. Oh, Peter loves it when we stream. Peter, I love it when you participate in streams. Thanks.
Okay.
And this $5 is going to be used not only for the giveaway we have going on, but there's another one. This is absolutely right. Wait, where is he? This is absolutely right.
This is such a...
They bring home germs all the time. It probably has something, Dave. It probably has something to do with your ears. That's why I don't use them with StreamYard. You can't hear me anyway. He can't hear me anyway.
That's crazy.
Well, we're gonna get going while Dave figures this out, because this is really funny, because this is what he does for a living. He's the tech guy. That's how we met. He's the IT guy at the shop. So anyway, let's review where we're at. So yesterday I was Elon Musk for about 3 hours. And I'll tell you that 3 hours probably took 3 years off my life as I scrambled to figure it all out.
Oh, hold on.
Gas is $4.59. Justin Brown, we are not doing much better here in Pennsylvania. We're really not. Yeah. I was up in New York for Memorial Day weekend, and let me tell you, it was almost 6, maybe a little bit all. Hi, David, and hello, Robert. Welcome, and welcome, old guy. We're a bunch of old guys around here, so luckily I found someone who is into old guys. So, haha. So yeah, it's insane. Up $500 in Utah. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Can you hear me now that you're not using the thing? Your mic's muted. Your mic's muted.
How about now?
Yeah, can you?
Finally, yes, I can hear you and you can hear me.
It was the things. It was that's why I don't use them anymore.
And yet they both said that they were working, and I specifically joined them to my computer to do this because I give up. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
So here we are. It's me and Dave. We're doing stuff. Who's the moron? That's a good question. Who's the moron that decides these prices? I'm not going to say anything political, but it might be the same moron who decided that a 9mm bullet blows your lungs out of your body. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Did you hear that nonsense? He wants to ban 9mm.
That's the key. And you know what? Because 9mm is like too big a bullet. He's leaving 45 alone.
40 Smith & Wesson, 357, 38. You know,
but 9mm is.
By the way, RFK killed with a 22. Thank you very much.
I'm not even gonna. You should have been. Oh, it was at the shop today all day.
I can only imagine.
We were just saying everything that went wrong was about like, oh, you're gonna get your lungs blown out of your body. You better watch out.
Again, Cain killed Abel with a rock.
Yes.
The
original murder.
The original, yeah, the first one, right? And here, most importantly, 10mm. Good point, Justin. And I was having this very discussion actually at a company we both know and have mentioned before. And I was having discussion with the owner. Where I was at today.
Yeah.
And I said, this is totally silly. I feel terrible for these families, absolutely, and I feel terrible for these children.
We'll circle back in a second, Justin, and tell you.
But here's the deal. I don't think they've got their story straight yet as to what they want to say. I mean, it went from he got through an open door to wait, the door was propped open. Wait, the door was propped open by a teacher. That teacher was going for his or her phone. Oh, wait, now all of a sudden I did see the gunman out there, so I ran back and I kicked the rock that I propped the door open with.
Yeah.
But the door didn't lock. I'm like, how about, I don't know, pull it shut?
Yeah. How about
Barricade the door? How about don't go out that way and go through the vestibule like you're supposed to? How about, and by the way, with the whole locks and doors don't work. And again, I hate to be this guy because it sounds, let's be honest, it's a very emotionally charged thing. But how about the fact that they had to wait to get the keys from the janitor to get in the door to get the gunman?
that's
So
the
apparently locked doors do work.
Yeah, go figure. I still love the fact that while all the local police officers, 19 of them were just waiting in the hallway because they had been told to wait, the Border Patrol Tactical Unit rolled on up and said, "What are you guys doing? Don't worry, we'll handle this." And they found the keys and went in and just took the guy out.
The guy, and his name escapes me, forgive me, but who just literally got reelected to be, I think they said he's literally the chief of police for the school or some nonsense. Like he's in charge of the resource people or whatever. He at first was talking, and now he's not. He's basically gone dark. And this was the guy who, when he rolled up, determined it was no longer an active shooter situation. It was an entrenched individual, and so we're going to handle this and wait for the negotiators. Blah blah blah. Well, meanwhile, you've got people inside, children and adults, calling 911 saying it's still active, it's still happening. And I'm sorry, by the way, use your ears. Gunshots are still going off.
Right. There's shooting.
It is literally an active shooter situation because he's still shooting.
Yeah.
And then to top it off, okay, listen, I still don't understand how this young man at 18 has enough access to money or liquid cash that he can get 2 ARs in this market. I mean, what are we talking? A minimum $1,400?
No, but we have to also specify they're Daniel Defense. They're not. They're like the most expensive.
They're DDs?
Yes,
you're talking like
they're
$3,000.
They're the most expensive ARs you can find. They're
right. And he had like how many gazillion magazines, and and listen, I hate to sound like one of the antis, but I'm like, he had more magazines than you or I have together, and we got a lot.
Yeah.
And then he had, what it was, 1,600 rounds of ammunition. Listen, to me, that's almost out as far as I'm concerned. However, he's 18. You're talking like $5,000 worth of equipment and ammo. Where's he getting the money?
No, nobody's asking these questions. Nobody wants to ask these questions.
No.
No.
And hold on one second. I got to close the door here.
David Jones, I don't even know what it is. I have no opinion on it. Don't care. I don't care, I guess is my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly, David. Exactly. Listen, even me, who, and Doc, who are both, guys who are working with families, etc., we have an established lifestyle. It would take us a while to spend $8G to get that kind of stuff.
Getting back to Justin about the banning 9mm. So now President Biden, out of absolutely nowhere, his new policy agenda is that we have to ban the 9mm bullet because it is too big. It's not used for personal defense because it is too big a bullet and it blows the lungs right out of the body when it hits someone. Those are his words. He said that. Swear to God, he said that. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. So if we're just going by bullet size, because I'm just saying that the 223 round, and he mentioned that if you want to defend yourself, you can use a 22. How about a .223 then? It's a smaller bullet. If that's what we're doing.
By the way, traveling at a excessively faster rate too.
No, but I do not believe he has any idea what he's saying. I think people hand him pieces of paper and say, "Read this."
Well, like most people who, if you're not, I don't even say an enthusiast, if you're not even remotely informed, whether it's firearms or knives, etc. I mean, come on. How many of us here, both you and I, Doc, and all the people in the chat, have bumped into somebody and they're like, "Oh, you want to see my cool new knife?" And you're like, "Yeah." And then they whip out this freaking gas station M-Tech, iridescent piece of hot garbage, and you have to. It's like it takes every ounce of strength I have to smile and go, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's great.
that's a yeah. Who got that for you? Oh, your mom. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you go. I mean, because you don't know what you don't know. Listen, until you got, until I got into knives or whatever, like you don't know what you don't know. Now it's like, like you say, like 8 CR is about as low as you would go, and I see sometimes I really love it. I'm like 8 CR, and I'm just like, oh, I just don't know if I can do it. Is that a steel stomp? Yeah, it is. Maybe it is, but when it comes to firearms, people know even less. And it is amazing how, I mean, look at every single video or TV show, movie. I mean, how many times have you heard people cocking a Glock when they pull it out of their holster on every friggin' show? I'm sorry, it's a Glock. It's semi-automatic. There's no external safety on it unless you're pulling out the one that they used for the trials. And that's a very unique firearm. And how many times have they, they pull it out and they rack it? I'm like, excuse me, you're a cop. You should have one in the chamber. Are you just you're throwing rounds out? Like, what the hell?
If I hear one more person call the AR-15 a weapon of war, too, I'm going to throw something.
Oh, my God. Or an assault rifle. Okay. First of all, it's AR, Armalite rifle. Okay?
Yeah.
Those are the only ones that are true ARs, the ones that are built by Armalite and Colt. Okay? Everything else is an AR clone.
AR
pattern rifle.
Right, an AR type or, AR style. I shouldn't even get upset, and I shouldn't even start the arguments, but in every Facebook group I'm in, the minute somebody says, there's no American citizen should own an assault rifle, and I'm like, conveniently, no American citizen does. There are some that own sporting rifles and this and that, but if you show me and somebody says, how about the AR-15? And I'll be like, good point. Can you show me the selective fire feature on the AR-15? Because by definition, an assault rifle must have a selectable rate of fire.
Well, doesn't it have that full semi, like that one Colonel showed?
Fully semi-automatic. Fully semi-automatic rifle.
A military trained officer.
General. He was a fucking general.
I thought he was a colonel. He was a general?
He was a retired general who probably shot.
Who probably hadn't raised anything since an M1A.
Right. He probably fired one of them once on a range to say he did it for pictures.
Yeah. He hasn't seen anything since the Garand and the what was the one that came after that, the little carbine, the M4? No, that's the
M1. There was the M1
carbine. The M1 carbine, yeah. Never go fully retarded. Amen, David. Amen. And
hey,
Sebastian.
Some boys, there are blizzards waiting for us outside. Okay.
I didn't see blizzards waiting for me outside. What the hell, man?
There's here. This is a good that's true.
Yeah. Look, and like I said, the problem is that people go, oh, we need common sense gun laws. And I say, you know what? I agree. We do need common sense gun laws. But if you can't give me a common sense gun law that actually keep guns out of the hands of criminals, it's not a common sense gun law.
And I do not believe that someone who doesn't have any common sense about a gun, who can't identify anything commonly about a gun, can write a common sense gun law.
That's the problem. I defy you. Even the pro-gun Republican Congress critters do not, for the life of me, I guarantee there's probably not a gun guy among them that knows their rear end from a hole in the ground. Yeah, they went to a couple of NRA meetings and the guy said, hey, let's go shoot a shotgun, whatever. Like even that famous one of Ted Cruz shooting the AR to cook the bacon on the barrel. That was such a photo op moment, please. That guy wouldn't know a charging handle from a hole in the ground. Sorry. You know, maybe some of the people that what's the guy with the eye patch that Pete Davidson made fun of? He was
Dan Crenshaw. This is a great statement.
Dan Crenshaw, yeah, right. You know, the example I always give: if I suddenly go buy a Corvette and a fifth of Jack Daniels, and I start plowing people down because I'm all tuned up on Jack Daniels, whose fault is that?
Right, you got to sue court. You got to sue
Chevy's fault?
Chevy because they made the Corvette. Well, now the one of the women that was shot in Brooklyn in the shooting there, which by the way, with a Glock, not an AR, she's suing Glock because they made the gun that the guy used.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I think it even made it to the Supreme Court, or at least it made to one of the higher courts, and they changed the ruling that says you can't sue basically a gun manufacturer because their weapon was used in a shooting. It used to be you couldn't go after them. Like just because the tool was used, you couldn't go after the tool maker. Okay, and let's be honest, that's what a gun is. It's a tool. It's a hammer. I mean, it like anything else, it's a tool. And so there was a law on the books that said you can't go after them, but then they changed it because they said, well, Bushmaster was advertising, you know, again, these weapons of war. Again, show me any military on the planet that issues an AR.
That's what I'm saying. Like when people say it's a weapon of war, it is not.
Nope. And show me any military group that would ask for that over an M4 or whatever else. Oh, and by the way, have you seen the Colt paid the you're right. Papa Rhino, you're absolutely right. It was the Sandy Hook thing. They sued them. They got to a point where they are now allowed to sue Colt and Bushmaster because Colt owns Bushmaster, the name, for their advertising of encouraging.
But Todd's right. If that's true, then every time a drunk driver kills a family, we should be able to sue the automaker
and the alcohol distiller. Yeah. Sure, why not? Great. Well, by that logic, every time I slam my thumb with a hammer, I should be able to sue Stanley Tool.
Right.
It's not my fault. I can't hit the broadside of a barn with a hammer, which is not true. But I'm making false examples here.
Soon they're going to be suing Federal Standard for making the bullets.
I mean that's because they can't get to the Second Amendment the way they want to. They're gonna do an end run around it. They're gonna try all this nonsense of, well, you can't have this and you can't have that, and here's the other thing. They go, I don't know if you heard this, but they're talking about, let's go back to the assault weapons ban. I hate the words, but that's what it was called. Here's the I'm gonna sue McDonald's for making me a fat ass. How about that, right, Justin?
You know what? I keep telling people, and people are like, no, that can't be true. The granddaddy of all school shootings, Columbine, was done at the height of the assault weapons ban with not a single AR in sight. Shotguns.
No, they were carrying Tech 9.
Tech 9 was, but I mean, it was considered a handgun. I mean, it was a handgun. It was a semi-automatic hit. I mean, and that was in '99 when we got there.
But most importantly, what people don't realize.
Ethan made me something.
Oh, cool! It's kind of spacey.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize this, but the assault weapons ban went into effect in 94 or 95?
94.
94. Okay. So it goes into effect in 94 for 10 years, right? If you look at the FBI crime statistics, they were already going down. Going down. Okay. They were already trending down. They continued to trend down in the same exact basic amount over that 10-year period. So, if they were going down, this much, they kept going down that much over that 10-year ban.
Take it afterwards, okay?
When the ban lifted in 2004 and we could buy ARs like free citizens again, it didn't suddenly go and shoot back up. Now, is it ticking up a little bit right now? Yes, it is. Are we in the midst of the end, hopefully, please God, of a global pandemic and people getting frustrated about all kinds of things? Absolutely. So maybe, just maybe, there's more to it than that. Yeah, it's just, I mean, look, I get it. You know, you want to keep you want to keep guns out of the hands of criminals. You want to keep the guns out of the hands of people who are, you know, mentally defective or have an issue. Absolutely, I do too. But why are you and I suddenly criminals because we happen to have the same tool that he has?
Right. You know, I can't, like, people are still saying, well, you know, if we just make him illegal, then that'll take him off. We'll make him unavailable. Cocaine and heroin and meth and all these things have been illegal and unavailable for decades.
Decades.
We have not gotten them. You know who doesn't have them? Law-abiding citizens don't have cocaine and meth and heroin and everything. But you know who still does? Drug dealers, drug addicts.
Oh, the war on drugs! Don't get me started. That's
You know what I'm saying? It's just
sunshine. First of all, hi, it's Dave.
Hi, sunshine.
Good to see
That's
you.
my Air Force wife.
Hope you're feeling better. And I do agree with you. We do have a problem with healthcare, etc., in this country. But as far as do we have a problem with guns? You could say we have a problem with, again, drunk driving. More drunk drivers kill people in this country than guns do.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that, you know, and again, I don't want to belittle what happened here. I have young children too, Doc. You have young children, and you know, I probably 40% of my business is security, is securing places. I take care of several local police stations for their security, local gun stores for their security, local gun ranges for their security, etc. And listen, the tool is the tool. But more importantly, every single time this happens, other than gang-related crime, which is a whole nother problem, almost every single time I can point to, they say, gee, he said this and he said that and blah, blah, blah. And either nobody took them seriously or nobody took it upon themselves to say something to someone and get this person the help that they needed or get them, yeah. I mean, look, we tried prohibition, long before you or I were alive, and look how that worked out. It made the mob, literally, in this country.
Simply making an object illegal doesn't make it disappear.
Correct. And then, you get people, I mean, as you guys can tell, we're both very passionate about this, but you get people talking about, well, look at New Zealand. They had that, big shooting, and then they bought back rifles. Well, first of all, buyback is first of all, how can you buy something back you didn't own? A. B, if you think you're giving me $100 for my $1,000 AR rifle and you think that's fair, we have another discussion to have. Yeah. And B or C, you're looking at New Zealand. Okay, it's an island. It shares no borders with anybody.
Hello, Mr.
It's a basic homogenous society. They're not very diverse. We have one of the most diverse society, countries in the world. And then on top of that, we share 2 very long borders with other countries. Okay. That, listen, it's possible to get those things through. And Sunshine, you make a good point. Harder to own. Okay, fine.
But here's my problem. Who gets to be the authority
exactly
deciding who and how gets to exercise their rights?
It's like
that's my issues.
100%.
You know what? I'm getting rid of this fucking douchebag because I'm not going to have somebody. Sorry.
No. Listen,
I normally don't block people, but somebody that's just going to criticize and not actually participate in a discussion.
No. And you sit there and you go, okay, harder to own. If you look at almost every single law that was ever passed to keep guns out of the hands of the people, most importantly, it was really to keep guns out of the hands of brown and black people. And I know that's hard for 2 white guys to sit here and discuss, But the rule, I mean, the reality of the situation is like, I mean, the reason you have all these stringent gun laws in California was because when Reagan was governor, you had the Black Panthers.
Yeah.
And they started freaking out. Oh my God, it's a bunch of black guys being all militant and walking around with guns. We got to stop that. You know, and getting back to Reagan too, when he was governor, he just absolutely decimated the mental health care system in California. And then when he became president, he decimated it on a federal level. And we've never, ever gone back on that. And I don't care your party affiliation, you know, all these people are just, you know, over and over again, you know, they talk a good talk, you know, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You know, Governor Abbott down in Texas, I'm going to work on mental health. Really? Because you've cut the budget for it in your state 3 times in your term already. 3. Cut it. Way to go, dude.
You know, and this is, you know, another thing is we're in a society right now where no one's held accountable for anything that they do. It's always something else's fault. It's always California is passing a law right now where parents can sue internet like I don't know what the proper word is. Like
like social media.
They can sue TikTok for quote unquote making their children internet addicts. Nothing about should parents be monitoring what their kids do. Nothing about parents, you know. Nothing about it.
Like
no, let me tell you. You know why I blocked him? Because he was not contributing to the conversation, and all he wanted to do was make snide remarks. Now, I'll tell you whatever Bus Bob, if you want to contribute to the conversation and talk, that's fine. But if you're just going to sit here and bitch and moan and make snide remarks, you too.
Yeah.
But if you have something useful to say, that's fine. He said nothing that was the truth. All he said was nah. That's why. I'm not going to have anybody waste our time like that.
Yeah. It's
but
Sunshine?
What? That's crazy, Sunshine. But my point is, like, so one of our big problems is that we are now in the phase in society where there is no personal accountability, where we've raised people to just there's an entitlement. I'm angry. I act out. I do what I want.
Listen,
you know,
I hate to be the guy on this side of the argument saying, "Oh, participation trophies, this and the other," but you know what? It's partially true. You know, yeah. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, raver boy. My mom was a very hard thumping, Christian woman, and she didn't like that I had my Guns N' Roses Appetite for Destruction tape and this and that and blah blah blah. And I mean, I cannot tell you how many times she took that tape from me. And I get a copy from my buddy, or I'd make a copy off my buddy's tape. I mean, a dozen. You can't. The minute you say don't do that, don't touch the red button. Okay, I'm not.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, we in my house again. I have 2 young men, thing 1 and thing 2, and they. We've set up a thing called Circle, and any parents out there that are listening to this, please, get this for yourselves. It's this little box, and you hook it up to your Wi-Fi, and then you can determine every single thing on your network that can get online or not. So like, for instance, my kids' tablets and stuff, they have a time limit of how much internet they can have. It also blocks all the, the sex and drugs and all that stuff. And it also limits like YouTube, etc. And so they don't have to.
I respect a few good men quote, but if you want to join, listen, if you want to join in the conversation and you want to discuss things and actually, I'll send you a link and you can join us on video right now.
Oh yeah.
But the truth isn't one-sided. The truth isn't just what one person says it is.
Listen, there's 3 sides to every story. I tell my kids this, I tell my wife this, I tell anybody to listen. There's 3 sides. There's 3 sides to every story. My side, your side, and the truth. And I'd like to hope that my side's somewhere closer to the truth.
Listen,
but everybody has their own slant on it.
I believe. Listen, I think there are plenty of people in this country, in this world, that we do not want to get their hands on guns.
Absolutely.
I think there are limits. I do not think the government, according to the Constitution, has the right to take guns arbitrarily away from people or declare an ammunition round arbitrarily illegal. Or so there are absolutely people we don't want getting their hands on guns, though. And we know that. We need 100%. To focus on those people, not punish the entirety of the country. And I say this all the time. There are over now, and I'm just going to talk about ARs. There are over 20 million AR-style rifles in this country. If owning the weapon, if just having access to the firearm automatically made somebody a mass murderer, everyone would be dead. This country would be dead.
It would make the Walking Dead zombie show look like a tea party.
The fact is, it is not simply that you can get your hands on the AR-15. It is the rare few people that should not get their hands on it that do. And I'm sorry, we live in a country where the solution to a problem is not punishing innocent people. We have a criminal justice system predicated on the fact that we do not punish innocent people. True. In fact, we let guilty people go before somebody smart in the history of our country said that, before we punish innocent people. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem with just arbitrarily taking everything away or banning this or banning that. Because guess what? Those bad people, those bad actors will still find ways to harm other individuals.
Listen, you and I have had this discussion. It's like, okay, so we need to pass more laws to stop what happened. Okay. Well, first of all, he got up that morning and he murdered his grandmother. That's illegal. Has been, listen, since the 10 Commandments. It's illegal.
You can tell Ethan he'd come back downstairs now.
To murder, right?
Yeah.
He then proceeded to steal her car. So that's 2 crimes we've now committed. And then he, you know what? I would debate this.
There absolutely are still shootings in the UK. You're telling me no one has been shot in the UK. And since they took away guns, why don't we talk about stabbings and knife crimes and what's going on in that? So, see, you want to talk about the truth. You tell a very small sliver of the truth. Yes, you act like crime and murder and harm person to person is gone. Guess what? There are still criminals with guns in the UK. Look 100%. At the statistics. There are now insane amounts. There are more murders committed with knives in the UK than there are I'll just talk about London. In London, there are more murders every year committed with knives than there are murders committed with guns in New York City. And that is a true fact. You can look it up.
Absolutely.
So, you see, you bring up these ones and twos. If you want to talk about the truth, tell the whole truth, not just little tiny slivers. And by the way, the government did not take away all the guns in the UK. They did not ban guns. You can still own guns in the UK.
Absolutely.
There are privately owned guns. So you really need to do your research and know what you're
talking about. There's people in the UK that have collections that would make you weep. You know, everyday citizens,
I agree with this. And you know what we have made schools the softest targets in the country, which is why these
First of all, you literally declare it a gun-free zone.
Yeah.
You know where you don't see shootings? Like at a gun range, at a gun store, and I mean that's obviously the far extreme, but most places don't have a shootout where there's potentially other people with a gun, and they go, oh, we'll just take all the guns away, and that'll solve the problem. Okay, well, let's get back to what we were talking about. When this happened, what did you do? You called the cops. Why? Because they're gonna come with a gun.
Yeah, right.
The one Border Patrol officer, God bless him, was literally getting his hair cut at his barber. Okay? He was off duty. His wife worked at the school, and his daughter is a second grader at the school. Okay? He got notification at the same time that his barber did that it was going down. Okay? He's like, oh my God, I'm off duty. He knows all the cops in the area. He's a Border Patrol agent from the town. He lives there. He grew up there. Okay? So did his wife. The barber literally hands him a shotgun and a box of shells and says, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay? He was one of the first people on the scene. He identified himself. The cops already knew him, etc. And I will talk about that in a second too, David. But the crazy part about this is that, you know, he shows up and, you know, he's trying to A, find his wife, B, find his daughter, and C, help out in any way that he can, you know, and, you know, that's what needs to be done. You know, as far as hardening our schools, listen, my kid's school around the corner, when my kids are now homeschooled, have been for years. God bless my wife. But you're exactly right, Craig. It is not about saving lives. It's about control, because we have the First Amendment. The First Amendment says you have the right to assemble, you have the right to free speech, you have the right to worship as you please. Okay. It also doesn't say in there, but it implies, listen, that's your right, and I have a right to not like it, but that's my right too. Now, the Second Amendment protects the first one and all the other ones. It's to keep government in check.
You know what? Let's also, since you said that, let's back up and talk about, you know, they took the guns away in the UK also. You know what also happens in the UK? You can literally go to jail for making an offensive joke. You think I'm lying? You think I'm kidding? Look it up. We have like hate crime laws. Hate crime laws in the UK
are
literally speech laws.
Very strange.
You make a joke that somebody feels somehow racially offended by, you can be arrested and go to jail. So,
you know what, Black Bus Bob? No, there's absolutely reasoning with both of us. I think with any reasonable human being, there's absolutely reason.
What you mean is we don't automatically agree with what you're saying. That's what you mean by there's no reasoning with you. There's no reasoning with people that accept nothing besides their exact position.
Yeah,
we have already said there's a middle ground.
Right.
You seem to think there is nothing. There is either no guns or there is everyone dying in the street. You're the one that is completely unreasonable.
Right.
But
for instance, like I was saying, when my kids were going to grade school, literally the grade school is I could walk there from here. And when my kids were in kindergarten, first grade, when I went to the meetings at the school, and believe me, I was at plenty of them, I literally had to be buzzed in with a camera on me. I was not able to go any further.
That's a great point, by the way.
Hello.
There is
Sebastian
hell violence. And, listen, Sebastian, you are my I always say this is my brother in Mexico City. That is, I thank you. I forgot about that. But
yeah, I mean, look, you know, anyway, so I want to get this point out. So we would go to the school. I had to buzz at the door, be videoed before they would let me in, identify myself. I could only get as far as the office, where I had to then have my picture taken, a sticker with my picture and my name on it, and who I was and where I was going and how long I would be there, all taken. You couldn't access the rest of the school. This is not hard. Okay. Now, the one time they had too many snow days, because we do get snow here in Pennsylvania, people, and we had too many snow days, and they had to have elections. And you'll appreciate this one, Doc, having worked for the electorate and all. Okay. Schools typically in this area are one of the places where there's a polling place. You'll go to vote. Normally the school will be closed on that day so that they can open it up for voting. But they missed so many days, they said, no, we're gonna have voting in the school and kids will be in school. I said, well, wait a minute. How's this gonna work? Because people need to be able to go into the school and in the auditorium to vote, but you're going to have kids in classrooms, etc., and that would break your entire security system. They said, we'll have an increased presence going between the schools. I said, you have almost half a dozen.
You up here because I want to get to that when he's done.
Yeah, almost half a dozen. I said, and I said, the cafeteria is adjoining to the auditorium, and the bathrooms are on the auditorium side. He said, well, we asked the kids to not go to the bathroom during lunch this time. I said, my sons will not be in school. Thank you.
Yeah, that's...
Should a psychiatrist...
Well, now here's my thing. Now, again, maybe reasonable. If a psychiatrist can show reasonable, not somebody told me he's dangerous, but can show reasonable, has evaluated, and can show reasonable...
You are a danger to yourself or others?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Sure.
That's the same thing as a doctor showing, a medical doctor showing reason that somebody should have a medical procedure or something like
Absolutely.
that, or should be in the hospital. I
Sure.
don't think. You see, what I do have a problem with are the red flag laws, where any Joe Mama can call up and say, "I think this dude's dangerous," or like we've seen where like vengeful ex-wives call up and have their ex-husbands rolled up on. That's not okay. But
No.
a psychiatrist is the person. Again, show just cause, show your work, but
Show your work.
yeah, absolutely. That's our front line to get the unstable people away from guns.
Absolutely. And the other problem with the red flag law too is that what most people don't realize, it sounds sexy, but a red flag law says anyone can accuse anyone else of the fact, of the fact that, I think they're a danger to me or others. And you, as the person accused, do not get to confront your accuser. Okay, I can understand, I'm scared of him, blah, blah, blah. But basically, you can be adjudicated. You can have a court order against you without ever having your day in court.
And
okay,
that is
and if you think someone's unbalanced or pissed off, and then you want to basically rule something against them, and then show up at their house with a no knock or a knock warrant and say, by the way, we're here to take all your shit. If they weren't upset before, they're upset now.
Okay, if this is your statement, show us the groundwork. If this is your opinion, say it's your opinion. But if you're stating that this is a fact, show us it. Because I believe that the fact that you want to take guns away from people means that you are planning to subjugate them. Period. If you want them to not own them, it means that you want power over them. I believe that the dangerous people are the ones that want the general populace completely unarmed and unable to defend themselves.
I look at it this way, Doc. You're a good New Yorker. You grew up listening to Howard Stern, right?
So at times, yeah.
Right, at times,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
He's not for everybody. But the point was made. Listen, if you don't like it, change the channel. Listen, I'm not saying everybody needs to go out and buy a gun. But if you want a gun, be able to buy a gun. If you don't want a gun, don't buy a gun.
That's the thing, and
listen.
Your uncomfortability with firearms or your dislike of firearms has no effect on the Constitution of the United States or other people's rights.
And you know what?
The same thing with speech laws. Your disenjoyment of what Howard Stern says has no ground or basis to take away his First Amendment rights. Yeah. And we'll bring that back around full circle. Now, demonstrate that person A is unstable, has made threats, cannot be trusted to maintain, the responsibility of firearm, is a danger to themselves or others. Absolutely.
100%.
Put them on the ATF list that flags when they try to fill out a 4473 and deny them that purchase. But do it with due process and with good faith, and
put up Todd's comment there for a second.
Okay, I haven't read it yet. Go ahead.
Okay, I honestly think gun safety course should be required for anyone to own a firearm, get a license to own one, just so they're not a danger to themselves or have Okay, Todd, I have no problem with that, except that course should be free of cost.
Yes.
Because here's the problem. As soon as you start doing things, and this is the point I was trying to make earlier, as soon as you start saying, okay, that's fine, but you can have this, but you got to take this course and you got to get this license and that costs money and this, that, and the other thing. Okay, you're now taking away the ability of that single mother or whomever, to protect themselves. Okay. Or just to whatever. I mean, you as soon as you subjugate it in a way that makes it fiscally impossible, financially impossible for someone to do the thing.
No, you know what? I'm not gonna shit on this. Let's face it, a significant. Well, I am gonna shit on significant because we don't know there are crazy people. Yes, but like I said before, add guns to that equation, you have shootings. Guess what? You have had murders. Yes, you've had murders throughout
the dawn of time.
The thing is, what your comment tells me is that if a significant percentage of the population is crazy, we need to work on the crazy.
Please.
Because guess what? The crazy is going to hurt people no matter what. You're focused on an implement, on an object.
Oklahoma City.
So what you're saying is basically it's okay if they're crazy and they want to hurt people as long as they don't do it with a gun. They could do it with any other means. They could blow them up with a bomb. They can run them down in a mass truck attack like they've done. They can go on a stabbing spree. You're okay with people being murdered as long as it's not with a gun. That is basically everything you've said here today. You don't like guns.
Doc, how many serial killers have killed in the double digits? Multiple double digits. I mean, look at John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy. They never used a gun.
Right.
Never used a gun.
Son of Sam used the gun, and he's like the one big name serial killer that used the gun. But he also had a much lower body count than any of the really famous serial killers in history.
Right.
You know?
Right. Almost every single one of them didn't use a gun. They were crazy as Jeffrey Dahmer.
Jeffrey Dahmer didn't shoot a single person.
Never.
You know,
it's just, I don't know.
I don't know what this has to do with what we're talking about, but okay. Sorry to hear that. I don't know.
Oh, poor good old boy.
I don't know. That's a very interesting thing to throw in here right now.
I think he's talking about when you got hacked this week with your channel.
Oh, okay. All right, I get it. Sure.
Yeah, that was a dark couple hours, folks. I got to tell you.
So when you're talking about mass shootings, what definition are you using? Because if you look at the actual mass, are you talking about things like a school, like what happened at the school? Or are you talking about when the numbers that the CDC and the FBI use when they say anything involving 3 people or more, and they have to acknowledge that most of that is done with like gang violence?
Yeah.
And not what we're doing. People inherently stupid. I totally agree with you, Derby, though. People are inherently stupid. They are very inherently stupid.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
Stupid. And I tested a genius level.
Yes, they are. But, yeah. Oh, there's Peace Boy. How's it going? I want to state that my intent on this was never to roll into a whole discussion about guns and stuff like that. It just sort of happened. You know what, though? Listen. You didn't get blocked because you participated in the discussion, not just made insults. And you're welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
Continue discussing anything we talk about. I never try to silence opposing opinions. I welcome them because it's the only way we learn.
Yeah. And by the way, I just happened to be wearing my Barrett hat today. This was not intentional.
Yeah.
I'm also shilling for Olight today. So, hey, shit on that too. Yeah.
Listen, Justin, I am going to tell you that despite whatever you have going on with Sunshine there, she's a U.S. military veteran. I'm not going to let you.
No.
You can debate stuff. We're not going to insult each other. No, we're not going to do that.
And I'm kind of catching the discussion on the side there. And again, 2 white dudes discussing a woman's right to choose is not the place we want to go. Yeah, that's another story.
Dave
Absolutely.
meet Ariel meet Dave, by the way.
Oh, hi.
Yeah. What were you? Yeah.
No, it's
It's under here. Oh, there's a cat under the desk.
There's a difference between OCD, ADHD, anxiety, depression. All those things are PTSD. I mean, listen, how many, and by the way, PTSD is not just limited to those that have been in combat or in the military or whatever.
Definitely not.
There's plenty of people that suffer from just a moment in their life, a car accident or some terrible moment, But listen, not everybody, not everybody, has a great day. I got a good friend of mine came to me one day and he's talking about he was going to therapy, and I said, listen, I've been in and out of therapy, for 30 years. I was an angry little kid for a lot of reasons, and as an angry young man, and talking to a trained professional is a good thing. Talking to someone that'll listen. And again, if you're hearing something with somebody, please, get them to talk to somebody of a professional nature get them to talk. If they're talking about harming themselves, get them on a suicide hotline. Get them talking to a psychiatrist, something. Because listen, it's
Grape. Sorry, I just looked up grape. Don't discuss grape.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. They're the hottest. By the way, Kurt, good seeing you, brother. They're the hottest topics, etc. But it is it's so important that you be honest with those people, and that they can feel free to correctly.
Robert, thanks, and I know it's your first time hanging out with us, but I appreciate all the stuff you had to add to the conversation.
Yeah, it's listen, that shouldn't that shouldn't preclude you from being able to enjoy the rest of life. And as long as you're not adjudicated a mental defective, as long as you're not harmed yourself or others, why can't you enjoy the rest of life and be able to do things like own a firearm, etc. As long as you do it responsibly. Listen, if I start doing things irresponsibly, you can bet my stuff will be gone.
Ooh, good one. Sorry, I'm not trying to get in a fight between. I don't want anybody fighting and insulting each other. But this is, yes.
I'm just getting an ad in the middle of life. That's a great question, Todd. I don't know how that.
Because YouTube, do you know? Did I tell you about what YouTube's been doing now about ads?
No.
So sorry guys, got to break on this for a second. So for a long time, in order to put ads on videos, YouTube you had to be part of the partner program, right? So you have all these milestones, 1,000 people.
You had to have like 1,000 subscribers minimum.
1,000 subscribers, 10,000 watch hours, all this stuff. Yeah. Somewhere along the lines, YouTube realized, wait a minute, why are we only monetizing these videos? Because we're missing all the ads we can stick on these videos. So sometime in the middle of last year, YouTube decided, why are we not monetizing everything? These people that haven't met those milestones are not in the partnership program. They cannot monetize videos, but we own all the videos. We can monetize anything we want. So you might now, unless you're like a premium member, right? And so you don't
right.
see it. But if you're not a YouTube premium member, you might be watching little tiny channels with like a couple hundred subscribers and 3-4 videos, and you might have 3 or 4 ads in the middle of that 5-minute video because YouTube has figured out that they are missing out
all the money on that.
All the ad revenue. So YouTube will put ads wherever the hell they want now. The only way that I can, if I go back and I demonetize a video, is the only way that I can ensure that a specific video does not have an ad on it.
No kidding.
And so
if you specifically demonetize a video, it won't have ads
because I'm at that point.
Oh, because you've reached that level. But say I have a channel. I don't put anything on it. Whatever.
You have no say over it. So they will monetize.
So even if I say, listen, this is a non-monetized. Well, not that I can even monetize it because I don't have any followers. I don't have anything. But wow, that's
so you will. So there are times where I'll notice where I'll do this live stream. There'll be no ads through the whole thing. And then Sunshine told me once there's like 5 ads throughout the middle of it, and I don't know.
Live stream. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I don't know how it.
Insane.
Yeah, but that's a whole different
crazy world we live in.
I'm wanting a Beretta 92 FS. Ugh, Peace Boy John. I gotta tell you, we used to have a joke in the Army. What is the maximum effective range of the M9? The M9 is an off-the-shelf Beretta 92 FS. Yes. It just says M9 and the Army carries it around. But anyway, the joke was, what is the maximum effective range of the M9? And the answer is as far as you can throw it. I mean...
Now, I have a question for you. Because, because now part of my understanding with the problem with the M9 is that the military basically had a contract to buy a buttload of magazines for the M9, and they were out of spec. Beretta told them they weren't going to work. They didn't buy them from Beretta. They bought them from some other company,
some third company,
right? Some third party company. But they literally were defective out of the box because they were malformed in that they were not the correct spec.
Mm-hmm.
And so every person that I've talked to previously was like, listen, the rule was if you get issued an M9, you take the 2 mags they gave you, put them in a drawer, go out and buy yourself 2 to 4 Beretta mags for the 92 FS, and you're fine.
The thing, I don't know about that. Honestly, nobody ever keyed me in on that.
Yeah.
From what I understood, the 92 FS as a street carry gun is great. Is great. And this is what we're coming up on. This is what we're coming up on. As a street carry gun, the 92 FS, police departments loved them. People carrying them around loved them.
Yeah.
You take it out into the field, though, where it was not designed for use. And you're doing work in the desert, especially, where you constantly have dirt and grime and everything.
Yeah.
And it was like the original M16 in Vietnam, where if you are not constantly breaking it down and cleaning it,
right, if you're not taking
all
it through
the time,
regular.
Yeah. It was terrible. And then we would also, and then the 9mm round versus the 45. There are documented cases where you have some of these guys in the desert wearing all of their 9 different robes, and then they have their tactical vests on, or whatever, and they'll stop a 9mm round. It just will, because like their robes are like thicker than canvas. They're like with the traditional stuff they wear.
Sure. And you wear multiple layers, and it's loose, so that'll slow it down a little too. And
yeah, so I mean, it like people hated the 9mm in Afghanistan, and we used to just bash on all the time. Then now I know Beretta came out with an enhanced version of it,
right?
Like a newer version of it, which I haven't heard anything bad about at all.
Yeah, M9A1 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
not at all. Who carried the 9mm in the Army? Officers. Craig, everybody that wasn't a straight infantry grunt carried a 9mm. As a medic, I carried a 9mm and I carried an M16 because the M16 is to prevent. They say it's for the defense of yourself and your patient, but let's face it, you're a soldier until you are a medic. The Geneva Convention basically just says, as a medic, you cannot operate crew-served weapons. But
you had said before that's only if you're
wearing the red cross
on.
Yeah, that's right.
So you can still play the part of a medic as long as you didn't wear the cross and then jump on a crew-served weapon if you had to. You would
technically you'd be a war criminal, and you would lose that Red Cross protection basically if you could be identified later on, like for life. I mean,
oh, really?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, so I always, in fact, I could legally carry an M203 because it was a single soldier operated weapon system.
Okay.
So I carried that and 9mm.
Which one's the 203? The 240 Bravo's the
M203 is the slung under grenade launcher.
Okay. Right.
So I would carry the 9mm that technically I would use if I had my hands on, but sure. I would carry an M16. So Craig, a lot of people carry the 9mm. Like everybody and their mothers carries a 9mm. And
all your security forces,
everybody rear area carries the M4 now and the 9. The Army just bought so damn many of them because of that deal they made with NATO when they got NATO to ditch 7.62 for 5.56, and we got rid of 45 for 9mm. The Army bought like every Beretta in the known universe, so they give them out to everybody.
Have you seen the new replacement for the M4 that they're going after now?
The
SIG. It's like
I think SIG won the contest.
Yeah, and it's a weird caliber too. It's a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's smaller. It's like it is bigger. No, it is bigger. It is. Yeah, it is bigger.
Yeah, because I thought it was like a. It's not a 6.5 Creed. It's like 6.6 something.
It's something crazy that doesn't make any sense.
And I'm like sitting there going like that's a pretty big bullet. The principle behind the M4 was, and correct me if I'm wrong, was you can carry a lot more rounds than you could with, like, say, a Garand or anything else more easily in a mag, not weighing yourself down. You could put, 5-6 mags on you, and it's not a big deal.
Actually, Todd, the civilians can carry different rounds in the military. The military is not
100%.
allowed to carry hollow points or dum-dums. Or military, you can carry what we call ball rounds, which are your standard jacketed rounds. You can carry tracers, and in certain cases, you can carry armor-piercing rounds.
Right.
But you're not allowed to shoot an armor-piercing round at a person. You
Nope.
can only shoot an armor-piercing round at equipment, such as the equipment worn on somebody's tactical vest. But you cannot shoot an armor-piercing round at a person. You cannot shoot an armor-piercing round at a person. So actually, Todd, civilians have much more freedom in what rounds they carry.
Doc, I'm gonna correct you a little bit there. In the United States.
In the United States, thank you. Very good.
Because, for instance, Sebastian, if you're still on here, he'll tell you they can't carry 9mm, or they can't even really shoot 9mm in Mexico because that is considered a military round. So
Really?
they have to have a different round than the 9mm. So they have what is it, the super what is it, something super 32 super, I think they call it, and it's not 32 ACP, or the 32 auto round. It's a different round because it's a different they can't, so like they wouldn't be able to carry like 223 or 556 rifles. They would have to have something that's chambered differently, like a 6.5 Creed or something like that.
Very interesting.
Oh yeah, 30 super. 30 super. Yeah, it's so weird. Like you can't have. I'm like, what do you mean you can't have that? That's crazy. But because of the way the law is written in their country, civilians are not allowed to have the same calibered weapon as the military.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's why you
see some really weird stuff. Yeah, and Mexico's just one of them. So
I'm gonna do this just for Robert's question. Hang on one second.
You asking? You mean do we play guitar?
There you go. There's me in Iraq in 2010 with my Stratocaster that I just gave to my younger brother because he plays.
Look at that studly guy.
Look at me. Look how young I was.
Look at that skinny punk
sitting in my chew.
Did you even have any tattoos at that point, Doc?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I almost left the studio.
Oh geez, don't do that. No, I play guitar very badly. I play bass a little bit better, but still pretty badly. Yeah. You can't actually carry knives unless you can articulate how it's related to your work.
Oh, that's terrible.
Ay. Yeah.
Oh, you can't be scared of the round. You control the round. The round does not control you.
Oh yeah. 100%. Yeah, you're in charge of the. And even then, it's like, you and I were talking about that. You had said somewhere that you had seen that the Russians were issuing garbage rods out to their troops.
Hold on, I want to know. I don't automatically disagree with this, Derby. I probably agree with you. I just want to know. We've been talking about so much. What are you leaning towards?
He might be talking about the corruption, like why the civilians can't have the same rounds as military.
Oh.
Because with the amount of corruption, it would be real easy for, some military style weapons to make it into private hands. So maybe that, but then again, I mean, the stupidity of that argument is very easily broken in that, listen, if I'm going to, illegally sell you guns from the government, from the military, I can just as easily give you the ammo that goes with it.
I mean, because Derby, I believe that it shocks most people, because I am very pro Second Amendment and everything, but I am also very independent in my politics. I am a registered independent. I hate the Republicans and I hate the Democrats. I am not on either side. So I believe they are all very corrupt. So I probably agree with whatever it is you're saying there. I just want to know what it is I agree with.
In Sunshine, you're right that the higher calibers are brutal on the shoulder. And that's why I was surprised at this move to this larger caliber round and this SIG rifle that they're saying got the contract for the Army. It is still semi-automatic, which is good. That's why I was saying with the reissuing of the bolt action Russian rifles to the Russian troops, I'm like, these guys have been shooting, AK-74s, AK-47s. That's the 7.62 by 39 in a semi-auto is not very punishing at all. But you go to 7.62 by 54R in a bolt action,
Yeah.
you're gonna know it fast and hard.
Yeah. Look at Todd commenting on me all clean shaven. Once upon a time. Yeah.
We were all young once.
Yeah.
We were all young once.
The thing is too, like when we talk about semi-auto results, the U.S. military really discourages people from firing on anything other than semi-automatic because they figured out in Vietnam the reason the M16A2. What?
It's a waste.
It is a waste. That's why the M16A2 did away with fully automatic for burst. And we only got it back, fairly recently. But they actually figured out that like guys were holding the rifle above their head and just holding the trigger down. And even when you're aiming after the third or fourth round, you're not even with as easy to fire a rifle as the M16. You're not controlling that anyway.
No.
And that's why actual machine guns are so damn heavy, because the barrels weigh 20 or 30 pounds just to keep it pointed where it needs to go.
And heat dissipation, etc. I mean, I'm sorry. If you really want to have some fun, go look at IV-88's meltdowns. You keep firing fully automatic for any length of time, you're going to heat the snot out of that thing. The accuracy, gone. And soon enough, barrel, gone.
Did I ever tell you the story in basic training about the 6 to 8 round burst? I never told you that one?
No.
I know I've told it on this. Aiden loves it. So there I am. So no shit, there I was. All of 19 years old at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And it was the first day we had intro to any automatic weapons. Mm-hmm. And so we were doing the M60. It was that old. And the instruction given was, after load and do this, fire a 6 to 8 round burst. Now, our drill sergeant Morales, had a very thick New York City, Puerto Rican accent. I heard fire a 69 round burst. That is what I heard out of his mouth. Now, it seemed odd to me.
You hosed the range, didn't you?
Why 69 rounds? Why not 70? Why not 60? But I'm like, okay. It was, and so first you've got to be a gunner for your battle buddy and feed him ammo, and then you switch. Didn't even occur to me at the time that everybody's doing these. Brr, 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 brr. So I get in there, and I'm like, okay, open it up, load, feed, and chamber and ready. And they're like, fire. And I'm just like, all right, I got to try to, how am I going to count 69 of these things? But it's just like,
wait. What were you on? Were you on the AR?
No, this was the M60 range.
Oh, Jesus. You on a Modus?
No, just the M60. Like,
just the M60. Okay.
Firing the pig. And finally, I'm like halfway done trying to estimate where I am in my 69 round burst. And I just hit the back of my helmet. And I'm like, what the hell was that? And then another one. And Drill Sergeant Morales is behind me chucking rocks at my head to get me to turn around so I'll stop. Yeah, I almost I was maybe a few rounds away from melting the barrel. I didn't even see, because you're
that thing had to be white hot.
The foxholes that you fire out of, they're like concrete tubes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they're about 5.5 feet deep. And so, but the range, for bullet drop, the range goes down. So you're like this, and you're looking down at the targets. I'm not looking at the barrel. I can't see that it's glowing. And it was one of the
Mikey Rambo just sitting there. Go.
Yeah. It was one of the absolute dumbest things I've ever done in basic training. But sure, soon enough that like later on that afternoon or the next day somebody did something stupider and I was off the hook. But yeah, it was one of my finest moments.
69 rounds. It's very specific. I want to shoot 69 rounds.
Right? Like, what a specific number. I do want to know what Peace Boy John hates. And then I'm gonna have to start wrapping this up because me and Ethan have a cool bro date to watch Harry Potter.
Cool.
Tonight.
Cool. No, so I mean, Darren, he was telling me when he was training with the MP5 for SWAT team, and he took a course where, you know, because that has safe, fire, burst, and fully auto.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got you know 4 settings, you know, if you include safe. And he said by the end of that course, that guy had taught them that if that thing was even on fully auto, they could literally shoot 1 round at a time.
Yes. Well, the computer's right here. Yeah. You can't use a computer when I'm on it. Yeah. Well, Peace Boy, fortunately, the U.S. military is very slow to replace.
Yeah, anything.
Like
ever.
we didn't replace. We didn't go to the M9 till 1986, and we held on to it until this year.
Yeah, and
this
now
year we went to the M18.
Finally coming in, and again, it's going to be a long time before the SIG replaces the, you know, the whole.
Now, people, I'm not sure what you're talking about, the 5.7, but the new handguns that the U.S. military just adopted, the M17 and the M18, they're 9mm.
Yeah, and the 5.7 round, the 5.7 round, that's that little FN round that was like in the P90s and the oh, Sunshine, thank you very much.
Craig, I have absolutely no idea. If you hit that point, you fired too many. You have gone too far.
Well, and I'm sure it wasn't stone cold when you got on it either, because other people have been running, you know, 6-round bursts, right?
6 to 9, they've done it right. No, I have no idea how many rounds.
but he was willing to find out.
Yeah, Craig, we still a lot of guys in general are still using 45.
100%.
Like just not. There's a lot of units that use it for various reasons. A lot of military police units still use 45 for like entry teams.
Still a very effective round and a very effective. Dude, the 1911 is still carried by certain branches or you know, people in the military that are allowed to choose their, you know, sidearm.
Yeah, like the what was it that the HK? There's a HK and there's an HK handgun that's very common.
Oh, the VP9?
No. In the military, there's an HK. And there's a Smith and Wesson that's anyway.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. But I can't think of that. I can't think of it. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. But the problem with the 5.7 round was it was originally designed for piercing body armor. That's its job. It's a fast, hot little round that it, you know, is designed for piercing body armor, but it's actually they found out that it's not very effective because yes, it gets to the body armor, but other than that, it doesn't do a lot of damage. Matter of fact, the Virginia shooting on the military base, that guy was shooting an FN 5.7, and you know he was just blowing off rounds, and people were like, "Yeah, so I got shot 17 times and I got up."
Yeah.
Not very effective. You want to put the guy down.
That's the whole thing when people talk about the 9mm versus the 45. The 9mm goes very fast, but it also tends to go straight through if you hit in the right place. Whereas the 45 never does that. The 45 hits
slow and fast, slow and low.
Yeah, and that's why when Craig says stopping power, that's why the 45 has that stopping power, because the 45 with its bigger size, lower muzzle velocity, transfers that energy 100%. Instead of just ripping on through. And that's why, you know, but I mean, you know, at least it doesn't blow lungs out of bodies.
Yeah. And then again, military, you're typically ball round, you know, because I just saw Craig saying no expansion. Yeah, your typical ball round is not going to expand. That's not what it's designed to do.
No.
You know, an expanding bullet is going to be a hollow point bullet or something like that. And that is non-military. You cannot have that, you know.
Peace Boy, thanks for stopping by. And you,
Sebastian, thank you for coming.
Huh? You enjoy some Minecraft. I'm probably going to play some. There's Sniper Elite 5 is out now, and it's pissing me off because I can't get past the first level.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you know,
Mag solves a lot of problems, Kurt. No problem.
With people going, I have a little guy I got to watch Harry Potter with because I promised.
Yeah, and I got I think beef Wellington waiting for me upstairs.
Oh,
so,
that's delicious. I got, I was going to show some cool stuff I was working on, but we got apparently people like the discussion, so I'm not going to.
Right.
But we got some anno going on.
What's that one?
It's a cool hand. Somebody bought and had delivered to me so I could work on it for them and send it to them. But
cool.
Yeah.
I got. Where is it? Hold on. Where the hell did I put it?
Hey, Robert, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was nice to have all your inputs, and I hope we'll see you again next week.
Where the hell did I put it?
I don't know. I don't even know what it is that you put.
Oh, here it is. I got. Well, I always got lots of stuff for you, but two things in particular that I have for you the next time we get together.
Is it 5 bottles of rum?
No, that was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Doc had a really tough day yesterday, so I got him 5 bottles of his favorite Blue Cherry rum.
Yeah.
As a birthday gift. But I got you
phone book, an actual phone book.
Yeah, for some cutting tests. I also have this. I don't know how well this will show up. Yeah,
not at all. There we go.
But the Zilla still in the package, so we can.
Hey, I have a package on the way from Olight right now. I have no idea what's in it. I didn't even know they were sending it. It should be here tomorrow.
Wonder what that is. So, yeah. No. Oh, and I totally want to check out that Ace Beam that you just got in EDC.
Okay. Are you gonna be able to shop it all tomorrow?
Maybe.
I'll bring it just in case.
The interesting thing about that I don't think you mentioned it in the video.
Bye, Peter. Thanks for stopping by.
But the reason that it does that bolt action thing, to pop out, is not only you can get to the lens and open it up for the battery and all that, but you can tail stand it with that, even though it has the tail switch.
Oh, smart.
Handy.
Smart.
Sunshine, it was really good seeing you. Again, hope you're feeling better. And, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. You know what, guys? And this is, we're long.
Yeah.
We're long.
We're long.
But we had a great discussion. Not at all what I intended tonight, but as long as people participate and enjoy what we're talking about, we'll talk about it. And as long as people listen, I'm totally used to people not agreeing with me. That is actually, I'd rather talk with people that disagree than just live in an echo chamber.
Oh, 100%.
I will only cut people off if they're only here to make fun of others and insult people. That's not participating.
I'm all for an interesting debate and discussion. I'm not here for nonsense.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll tell people all the time, listen, I will gladly listen to your point if you listen to mine.
Right.
Without raised voices and name calling and all that, And the other thing I wanted to mention to all the people watching is I don't know about you guys, but I love Doc's live chats. I want to see them get bigger. I'd like to see more people attending the live part. I know a lot of people watch it afterwards because not everybody can make it. But if you got any suggestions, man, let Doc know. Like, what can we do to get more people to come? Send them a message or an email or something and be like, hey, listen, I was thinking blah, blah, blah. Because, we're racking our brains. I want it to be bigger. I think this is a great outlet for people to talk and about all different things. Because, there's a lot of knowledge in this room.
We always have great drop-ins from the comment section.
Yeah, 100%.
That steers the conversation sometimes in a way I never thought of, which is what I really enjoy.
Oh, by the way, you need to come over and meet my buddy.
Oh, look at that guy.
That's my buddy, Scruffy Bumble.
Maybe after I'm not dying.
Yeah. We'll have you and the boys over and they can destroy the backyard and have some fun.
That's Video Addict texting me about Barrel and Blade. So
what's going to do live?
We were going to do it live together, but I never got the box. He said he's going to have to go ahead and do it, and I was like, dude, I never even got my box. Go for it.
What?
I emailed them today, and I was like, what the hell? Craig wants to still more skin. So, no, I emailed them today, and I was like, what's up? Just a last shout out for Mike Elmer. Who's Mike Elmer? Why don't I know that?
Cool.
Thank you. You know what? Listen, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
We're going to have a good time.
Now, which one? What are you watching?
Well, last night we did Sorcerer's Stone. I tried to get him to watch the new one, which the new one that just came out on HBO with the third Dumbledore prequel.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be honest, I had trouble watching it without Johnny Depp in it because it just was not the same.
Yeah, like they changed him, but they didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hear he won?
I heard he won. I watched the thing. Well, that'll be for next week. We'll talk about how that went. But cool. Ethan was not into it. It was a little boring, a lot of talking. So he said, "Is this really what Harry Potter is now?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Maybe they had George Lucas direct it.
Yeah. They were talking about blockades of the magic world. But he said, "Can we go watch the real Harry Potter?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he wanted to start the first one. So last night was Sorcerer's Stone, and tonight we're going to do Chamber of Secrets.
Speaking of which, speaking of Harry Potter, did you see that Daniel Radcliffe will be playing Weird Al in the Weird Al biopic?
I'm all over that as soon as it comes out.
It looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. Yeah, my only critique so far is I wish he would have Al's voice is very unique when he speaks.
Yeah.
And Daniel just has a regular American voice, not like he's not trying to be Al with his voice. So, but if that's all you got to say, whatever.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Look, I got to go.
Yeah, I got to go. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Great talk tonight. Same time, same place next week. Maybe Dave will be here. Maybe he won't. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what he's doing.
I'm always available for you, Doc. Anything you need, brother. Anytime.
Well, I'm gonna make a list.
Oh boy.
All right, guys. Thanks. See you again real soon. Take care.
Take care.